Muted. Let's unmute.
Hi, everyone. Hare Krishna. We'll just wait one more minute for anyone else who is going to join, okay? Good afternoon, everyone. Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining, and let me share my screen and we'll get started, okay? Can you all see my screen? Yeah? Okay, awesome. Okay, so we're going to start with our Bhagavad Gita verses again, and then we'll go on to our story, okay? Let's start with our opening prayers, and you can unmute from now, okay? So please unmute and let's say this all together. Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, and let's start with reviewing all the verses that we have learned so far, okay? So let's start with this one right here, and let's say it all together. So stay unmuted, and even if you don't remember it, that's okay. We're going to say it all together so you can read it. We'll read the Sanskrit right here, the verse, and then the translation together also. Okay? Are you ready? And let's go. Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetri Kurukshetre Samavetaayujutsavaha Mamaka Pandavaschaiva Kimakurata Sanjaya. Am I going a little too fast? Should I go a little slower? No? Okay, great. Okay, and the translation together? Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage at Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Okay, wonderful. And here's our next verse. Okay, let's say it all together. And for those of you who are joining just now, we're all unmuting and we're going to say this together, okay? Ready? Okay, let's do it. Tarpanyadosho bhaktasvabhava Richami tvam dharma samudhachetam Yashriyasya nishchitam ruhitan me Ishyasteham shadimam tam prapannam. Wonderful. Okay, let's say the translation together, okay? Now I'm confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition, I'm asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I'm your disciple and a soul surrendered unto you. Please instruct me. Wonderful. Okay, and this is last week's verse now. Let's again, same thing. Let's say it all together, unmute it. Ready? Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashocyan Anvashocastvam Shagyavadamscha Bhashase Gatasum Agatasumscha Nanushochanti Panditaha. Wonderful. Okay, and the translation? The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for the living nor for the dead. All right, excellent. Thank you, everyone. All right, and a quick little recap. Who is speaking this verse? The very first verse we learned. Can anyone tell me that? You can just unmute and tell me.
Dhritarashtra.
Yes, thank you, Ansh. Dhritarashtra. And what was Dhritarashtra asking?
What were they doing in the place of pilgrimage?
Yeah, thank you, Atishya. Yeah. So they were at at Kurukshetra, which they chose to be their battlefield. The Pandavas and the Kauravas, they were going to fight. So here Dhritarashtra is asking Sanjay, what did they do? What are they doing in the battlefield? Okay, and who spoke the second verse here that we've learned? Arjuna, thank you. What's your name?
Ashi.
Ashi, okay, thank you, Ashi. And what did he ask? What was he saying here? Or what, yeah, what was going on here? Go ahead.
Confused why, what to do to battle or not.
Yeah, exactly. He was very disturbed. He didn't want to fight his family, and he was very confused whether he should continue. What should he do? Okay, and then last week's verse. So who was speaking last week's verse? Go ahead, Anj.
Krishna.
Krishna, yeah. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha. Okay, in the Bhagavad Gita, whenever Krishna is speaking, he'll be referenced to as Shri Bhagavan. Okay, so yes, that's Krishna speaking. And what exactly was he saying here? What was he telling Arjuna here? Oh, I see. Ansh, go ahead.
Don't be sad that you're killing your relatives because they're the soul and they're never gonna die.
Yeah, he was starting to console Arjuna. He was starting to tell him, so starting to, help him with his confusions, right? So, and now this week, we're going to learn another verse spoken by Krishna still. So this is right after he spoke that last verse that we learned last week. Okay, if you can see here, 2:11 was the last week's verse. Today's verse is 2:12. So they're spoken together. So Krishna is continuing whatever he started to tell Arjuna last time. Okay, so we'll talk more about it in a second. But for now, let's go to the Sanskrit part of the verse. And same thing, I'll say it once by myself so you can hear. And then I'll say each line once and you will repeat 3 times. Okay? So I'll go through it once by myself. Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. Okay? Now I'll say one line by myself, and then you'll repeat after me 3 times. Okay? Natvevaham jatu nasam. Your turn.
Natvevaham
Jatu nasam. Natvevaham jatu nasam. Natvevaham jatu nasam. Okay. And right here, where we have the TV right here, you just connect it to this next word right here. Put it all together, and that says tvevaham. Okay? Natvam neme janadipaha. Your turn. Natvam neme janadipaha. Natvam neme janadipaha. One more time. Natvam neme janadipaha. Okay. Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha. Your turn. Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha. Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha. One more time. Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha. Good. Sarve vayam atah param. Your turn. Sarve vayam atah param. One more time. Or again. Sarve vayam atah param. One more time. Sarve vayam atah param. Okay, let's do it one more time. I think it might be a little confusing for some of you, so I'm going to say it again once, and then you're going to repeat again 3 times. Okay, we'll do that one more time, and then we'll say it together. Natvevaham jatu nasam. Natvevaham jatu nasam. Natvevaham jatu nasam. One more time. Natvevaham jatu nasam. Good. Natvam neme janadipaha. Natvam neme janadipaha. Natvam neme janadipaha. Natvam neme janadipaha. Okay, good. Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha. Your turn. Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha. Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha. Nachaiva na bhavishyamaha. Good. Sarve vayam atah param. Your turn. Sarve vayam atah param. Sarve vayam atah param. Sarve vayam atah param. Okay, good. You guys are doing good. Let's say it all together now 3 times, okay? All together. Ready? And please unmute and let's say it all together. Ready? All right.
Na
Natvevaham
Jatunasam
jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. Good. Two more times. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. All right, one more time together. Natvevaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. All right, thank you everyone. Now, can we have a few volunteers to say this by themselves? Who wants to try by yourself? Or with whoever you're sitting with, that's okay too. I might not be able to see everyone's hands up because I only have a few people up here, but if you want to, just say me and then you can start. Who wants to try? Satya, do you want to try? Satya?
No.
No? Okay, how about Krishnangi? No? Let's see, who else is here? Ansh, go ahead.
Natvaevam jatunasham natvam neme janadipa nachaivam na bhavishyama sarve vayam ataparam.
Wonderful, Ansh, great job. Very good. Thank you. Who wants to try? Who wants to try now? Okay, let's see if I can. Let's try to get one more person. One more person. Okay, Satya, go ahead.
Natvam jatunasam natvam mechan dandipa
Good.
najiva nabhagavashyama sarvayam
Very good. Thank you for trying. Wonderful. I know it's a little tricky. It's a different language and you just learned it. So you all are doing really well for that. Okay, and we'll keep practicing it next week. You'll keep hearing it again and again, so it'll get easier. Okay, let's read the translation and then we'll have a few volunteers to say that one as well. Okay, let's read it all together. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Okay, who wants to try reading the translation? Okay, let's, Ashi, go ahead.
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
Wonderful, thank you. I saw Ansh's hand up. You please go ahead, Ansh.
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
Wonderful, thank you. Okay, Ahan. Ahan, I see your hand up. Do you want to try? Ahan? Okay, I think I heard it. Your volume was a little low though, but I think I heard you finish it. Did you finish it? Okay, thank you, Ahan. Okay, I see Atisha.
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
Okay, great, thank you. Kushi.
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
Wonderful. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Who else would like to say it? I see. Okay. I see Kavita. Is that your name?
I'm Rahanika and she's Aradhya.
Aradhya and Rahanika. Okay. Yes, please go ahead.
Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these things, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be.
Great, thank you. Does anyone else want to try? If you would like to try, put your hand up so I can see, okay? Okay, I don't see anyone else. So if I'm missing you, let me know. Otherwise, we'll continue on, okay? Okay, thank you all for reading the verse and the translation. Okay, so like I said in this verse, Krishna is speaking to Arjuna still. He's continuing his reply to Arjuna after Arjuna mentioned, after he said that he was confused and he didn't know what to do. So Krishna started replying to him in the last verse we learned last week, and this is a continuation, okay? So last week, Krishna tells Arjuna not to lament, right, in the previous verse. And today, he's continuing to explain why, okay? And last week we talked about the soul, right? We talked about how the soul is the real life, you know, in the body. Once the soul leaves the body, that's what we call death, right? Then the body no longer works. So the soul in the body is what gives the body life, right? And we also talked about how we are the soul, right? We're not the body that we're in, we're the soul inside the body that's giving this body life, okay? And so now today, our Krishna is saying that there was never a time when he did not exist, nor Arjuna, nor all the kings in the battlefield. And they'll also continue to exist. So there's never going to be a time in the future where none of them will not exist, okay? So here Krishna is beginning to explain the different characteristics of the soul. So the very first one characteristic of the soul is that the soul is eternal, okay? The soul doesn't have an expiration date. The soul lives eternally. So we as souls, we're eternal, okay? The bodies that we're in, they get old and they eventually have to stop working. And that's when the soul leaves the body and goes to another body, okay? But we are the soul, and the soul is always existing. It's eternal. And that's what Krishna is saying here. So he's saying that Arjuna is eternal, right? All the kings are eternal, and Krishna, is also eternal. And they're all eternal. We're all eternal because we are the soul. We're the soul in the body. Okay. Let's think of a few. Can some of you give me a few examples of things within this world that expire, that don't last forever? You can raise your hand or you can just unmute and tell me. What are some things in this world that don't last forever? Yes, Koshi.
Food.
Food, yeah, that's a great example. Foods have expiration dates, right? You can only use it from this day to this day, and after that it's bad, right? Anything else? What are some other things? Satya?
Milk.
Milk, okay, yeah, another food example. Yeah, milk goes bad. It doesn't last forever. What are some other things in this world that don't last forever? Yes, Ansh. Did you have your hand up?
Our bodies.
Our bodies, yes, very good. Our bodies don't last forever, right? After some time, the body gets old, right? Teeth start to fall out, you know, you get weaker. That's just a natural part of this world. Thank you, Ansh. Okay, Nandika?
Plants?
Plants. Yeah, very good. They have a lifespan too. They live for a certain amount of time. Even big trees, right? Even big trees at a certain point, they die. They They fall over. They get hollow in the middle and they don't have fresh leaves anymore. Yeah, a good example. Does anyone have any? Okay, Ahan, I see your hand up.
Material objects.
Can you say that again, please?
Material objects.
Material objects. Okay, yeah, that's a good one too. Anything that you have, eventually will decay, right? Whether it's plastic or metal or any other kind of material, eventually they all have different lifespans, but eventually they'll start to decay and decompose. That's a good example. Ashi,
The bedtime, where we sleep.
the bedtime doesn't last forever. Yeah, good. Okay. Yeah, that's another concept of time, right? Time also makes things last for a certain amount. It doesn't last eternally. Yes, Satya.
Unrenewable sources.
Unrenewable resources. Yeah, good. They have a certain amount that they can be used for, right? Yeah, that's a good example. Does anyone else have any other examples? I think many of you gave some really great examples. So these are examples of all kinds of things, excuse me, examples of all kinds of things in this world that don't last forever. They all have expiration dates, okay? But our soul, we as a soul, we don't have an expiration date. We last forever. We're eternal. So that's what Krishna is talking about to Arjuna, that we as a soul, we are eternal. We last forever, but the body lasts only for a certain amount of time. And then we have to go to another body. And then that body has a certain amount of time. And then we have to go to another body after. So we've gone through many, many bodies, but we are eternal as the soul. Okay. And yes, and there's one more thing. Krishna also, Krishna says that he is eternal too, because he is God, right? As God, he is eternal as well. And so we, as the soul, we are eternal. And then God is also eternal. Krishna, who is God, is also eternal. Yes, Satya.
And when you leave a body, you don't remember the body you were once in.
Yeah, that's right. We don't remember the bodies that we've been through throughout our lifetime, throughout our span of being in the material world. Okay, yeah. And another thing is that this you'll hear more about later on, but really quickly, I'll mention that Krishna also, like how we talked about last week, that we are the soul in our body, right? And we power the body because we are the soul. So Krishna also, he expands in different forms. And one of his expansions is the super soul. Okay, so he takes a small form also, and he stays with us as a super soul in our body. Okay, so we as a soul, we're in the body, and then Krishna stays as a super soul with us. Through all the lifetimes that we've been through in different bodies, he stays with us, each one of us. Okay, so he's our best friend in that way because he's been with us through everything. Okay, so that's one way that you can also connect with him. If you ever want to pray, or if you want to say something to Krishna, you can just think of him because he's inside of you, and you can connect with him in that way. So that's also what Krishna will be explaining more in the Bhagavad Gita. So you'll see that more in other verses later on, okay? Yeah, all right, so that's about this verse. And now we'll go to our story of another one of Krishna's expansions, one of his incarnations. So so far we've been learning about the 10 main incarnations, right? What are the ones that we've heard about so far? Can anyone tell me which incarnations of Krishna have we heard about so far? I see Nandika. You're muted. We can't hear you. Oh, it started. Yeah, there we go.
So we've learned about the fish and the turtle.
Wonderful. Do you remember their names? No? Okay, who can help Nandika? What are their names? What was the name of the fish incarnation and the turtle incarnation? Ahan, I see your hand up. Did you say Matsya, Ahan?
Yes.
Yeah, great, good job. Yeah, Matsya was the name of the fish incarnation. Yeah, what about the turtle incarnation? Who remembers the name? Let's see. Ansh, could you help us remember the name?
Kurma.
Kurma, very good. Matsya and Kurma. So today we're going to learn about another incarnation. Let me just share that with you really quickly. One moment, friends. I'm just going to share another screen with you. All right, can you see my screen?
No.
What can you see on my screen?
The slogan, some other slogans.
Okay. What do you see, Ansh?
2.1.1, but it's not in full screen.
Oh, okay. I think I have to switch my screens. Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Oh, here we go. Now what do you see? Oh. Now what do you all see on my screen? Does it say Varaha Avatar?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, wonderful. And there's a picture there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. Okay, thank you. Okay, so excuse me 1 second. Okay, so this third incarnation of Lord Krishna out of the 10 main incarnations is Varaha Avatar. Can we all say that once? Varaha Avatar. Varaha. Yeah, so Avatar means incarnation. Varaha is the name of this incarnation, and Krishna came as a boar in this incarnation, okay? So this is how the story goes. So one time there are these 4 sages, and these sages are little children, actually. They got a blessing from their father that they would never have to grow into adults. So they're little children. That's why they're not wearing any clothes. Just like sometimes little children don't wear clothes. So they're actually little children. So one time they wanted to visit Lord Vishnu, okay? Up in the spiritual world. They wanted to visit Lord Vishnu. So they went through all of these gates, and finally they came to the last gate, which was guarded by 2 doorkeepers here. Their names are Jai and Vijay. And Jai and Vijay didn't understand that these boys were great sages. They were in the form of little children. They were great sages, though. So Jai and Vijay didn't understand, and they were worried that they didn't know what they were coming for. So they said, no, you cannot enter. You cannot see Lord Vishnu right now. And so the sages, they got upset and they cursed Jai and Vijay, the 2 doorkeepers. They cursed them that they would have to take birth all the way down in the material world as demons. Remember we were talking about demons in the last week, how the demigods and demons were fighting? Yeah, I hear some yeses. Yeah, so the 4 Kumaras, these sages, they cursed Jai and Vijay to take birth as 2 demons. Yeah, so here are the 2 demons. They took birth as 2 demons named Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. Were 2 twin brothers. They were very strong and very powerful, but not very nice. Okay, they caused a lot of suffering to many people on Earth and in the material world. Okay, and including the demigods. So they were very difficult personalities. So the demigods, they were very tormented by these 2 brothers, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha. And they did many, many different things that were just not helpful for the world. So all the demigods went to Lord Brahma, okay? And we heard about Lord Brahma in last week's story. Does anyone remember anything about Lord Brahma? Yes, Satya.
He has 4 heads.
He has 4 heads, that's right. Yeah. Does anyone remember anything else? Yes, Anj.
He's the secondary creator of the world.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he helps create the world. So all the demigods, they always tend to go to Lord Brahma when they're in a hard time and they don't know what to do. So they went to Lord Brahma and they told him that these 2 brothers, these 2 demons, Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksha, they're really, really bad. They're causing a lot of disturbance. What do we do? So they went and they talked to Lord Brahma. And Lord Brahma thought, okay, we need to take shelter of Lord Vishnu. We need to ask for help. But as he was thinking about this, when he exhaled, you know how we breathe in and we breathe out? When we breathe out, it's called an exhalation. And as he exhaled, a tiny, tiny little boar came out of his nose. Pretty incredible, isn't it? Tiny little boar came out of his nose as he exhaled, came all the way out. And then as he came out, he grew bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, just like here in this picture. Started off tiny like this, and then he grew big into a full-size boar, okay? And this was Lord Krishna. He incarnated as Varahadev, the boar. And oh, there was one thing I forgot to mention to you. Back here, you see this planet here under the water? Can anyone guess what this planet might be? I see Nandika or Nandini. Earth. Yeah, good. So what happened was one of those 2 brothers, Hiranyaksha, he was so naughty. He went up to the solar system, to the planets. He actually was able to take the Earth planet and throw her into this into the ocean. Okay. And so Earth is not supposed to be in the ocean. Earth is supposed to be in the solar system, right? In the space. So he threw her into this ocean and she was not able to function there properly. So that's why all the demigods went to Lord Brahma and they asked him for help. So Lord Vishnu came as the boar, Varahadev, and he came and he went all the way into the ocean and he took out the Earth planet with his tusks. He went in and he took her out, put her back where she was supposed to be in the space. And then when Lord Varaha was doing that, Hiranyaksha noticed. And then they ended up fighting. They got into a huge fight. And Lord Varaha, after he put Earth safely away, they fought very, very, strongly. And eventually, Lord Varaha, he killed Hiranyaksha. So he was one of those 2 demon brothers. So Lord Varaha killed Hiranyaksha. And then Earth was back into her place. Hiranyaksha was killed. And all the demigods were happy. And you can see here they're showering some flowers on Lord Varaha. And that's the end of Lord Varaha's story. So Lord Varaha, he came specifically to get the Earth out of that ocean and take her back into the space solar system so that she could continue being a good place for everyone else who lives on there. Okay, and then he also killed Hiranyaksha, which is one of those 2 demoniac brothers. And the other brother, Hiranyakashipu, we're going to hear about him next week. Okay, I think next week, yes. He's also someone he's a very, very terrible demon, and we'll hear more about him next week, okay? All right. Does anyone have any questions or anything that you want to share? I see a few hands up. Atisha?
What happened to the other brother?
The other brother? So he was still alive at this point, but we'll hear more about him next week. He has a long story. And a very, very interesting story also. So stay tuned, come back next week and you'll hear about him, okay? Thank you for that. Good question. Nandini or Nandika?
Um,
Will the other brother be killed by the same
The same
avatar?
avatar? The same incarnation?
Yeah.
Okay, I won't spoil anything for you, so you'll have to come next week and find out, okay? But it's a very interesting story. You'll hear about him next week. Ahan and then Satya. Ahan, you had your hand up? Oh, I don't hear you, Ahan, so let me know if you want to speak again. For now, we'll go to Satya, okay?
Oh, what happened to the kids?
Oh, the kids who were the sages?
Yeah.
Oh, they just went back to where they stay. Eventually, they got to see Lord Vishnu. Yeah, they initially came there to see Lord Vishnu, right? If we go back to where, yeah. So they initially wanted to see Lord Vishnu. They wanted to take his darshan, just like when we go to a temple, right? We go and we take, we see God, we see Krishna in the temple. So they wanted to go see Lord Vishnu where he was living. So eventually they got to see Lord Vishnu and then they went back to where they normally live. Yes, Nandika.
I'm Nandini, and did the other brother get revenge on Krishna for killing his brother, or did he not know about it?
He knew about it. He was very upset, but I won't tell you more because then it's gonna spoil the story, okay? Yes, Nandika.
Who was the kid's dad?
Oh, these children sages?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I'm not fully sure. I think they were sons of Lord Brahma, the demigod with four heads. But I am not 100% sure. I will find that out for you, okay? And Nandika, let me just see. Okay, go ahead quickly.
So we used to watch different shows of Ramayana, and and there was a part very similar to this.
Yes, yeah. Okay, anyone else has their hand raised? Let me see. No, okay, well, let's take a few minutes, and if most of you or all of you can share something that you liked from the story or the verse today, something that you can remember for the rest of the week, something that you didn't know, let's all just share something really quickly before we finish, okay? Let's go back to this right here. Actually, there we go. Now I can see all of you. All right, let's all share something that was new for us, something that we'll remember, something that we liked. Something you didn't know about that you found out today? Atisha, go ahead.
I liked how when he breathed out, Krishna became a boar.
Yeah, Krishna came out as a boar from Brahma's nose, right? That's a very interesting way to appear, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. All right, who else has? Yes, Ansh, go ahead.
I didn't know the shloka.
Okay, new shloka for you. Good. What do you like about the shloka? It's a new one. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Ansh. Okay, anyone else? How about Kushi? Kushi?
I liked how Krishna fought in the skies.
Mm-hmm.
As a
Yeah.
boar.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, I saw someone raise their hand. Ahan.
Please connect him.
Ahan, did you have your hand raised?
You have to learn in your life. Why don't you have any motivation?
I didn't quite understand. She says, I agree with Kushi. Okay, good. Oh, sorry, Ahan.
No.
No? Okay, that's fine. We can come back to you. Let's see. Nimai, would you like to share something? Nimai?
That verse was new for me. I didn't know it before.
Okay. Thank you for sharing that. Let's see. Krishnangi.
I like when Lord Krishna carried the earth on his tusks.
Yeah, he saved the earth like that. Wonderful. All right, Kavita.
Did not know that the earth came into the water.
Can you say that again?
I did not know that the earth came into the water.
Okay, yeah. Have you heard of that story before?
No.
No, okay. And I'm sorry, I know you're Aradhya and Rahanika, right? I see Kavita on the screen, so I keep calling you that. I'm sorry. I'll try to remember for next time. Okay, Krishna. Do you have something you'd like to share with us? Something new, something you would like to remember? Something you liked from today?
I like how the earth was in the water.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. How about Satya? Have you gone yet?
I like this. I hate the fact that Krishna came out of the nose.
Okay. Is there something that you liked about the story?
When the demon was killed.
Okay, yeah. Have you heard of that story before about Lord Varaha?
No.
Oh, okay. So it's a new story also. Thank you, Satya. Let's see. Shlok.
I I liked how the demons, when they're always in trouble, they go to Brahma for guidance.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for sharing that. All right. Did I get everybody? Ashi, did I ask you?
I agreed
You
with Kushi.
shared with me. Yeah, I remember that now. Okay, I think I got everyone. I think all of you have shared with me. If you have not, let me know and you can share still. Otherwise, we'll end here. Okay, we'll end here then. Thank you all so much for joining today. Thank you for saying the verse and the translation and listening to the story. And we'll see you all next week. Bye. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Uh, bye.
Bye.